Good morning, Pravina. Good morning to everyone who spared their time for today's interaction. Uh, I'm Shubhangi Rajput, an educator with 25 years of experience across various boards and a learner for life as well as a STEM enthusiastic speaker and a writer. Today's our topic is about unleashing classroom potential, the mind power. Many of you might have heard about NLP, that is Neuro Linguistic Programming, and might have felt that what it has to do with our classroom scenario. So, I have tried to delve into this topic from an educator's point of view and uh, the engagement issues which today's teachers are facing with the new generation due to explosion with AI as well as a lot of technology surrounding them in and out. So let's begin our journey for learning together. The first thing is that the classrooms are a vibrant space and the critical load of engagement is very, very important. So, why engagement is essential? See, we all know from the time to time the things have changed. The earlier classrooms, which were more of teacher centric, has now turned into technology centric plus student centric, wherein we also talk about student agency's power. The reason is the students today are not totally dependent on the teachers for their knowledge acquisition as well as enhancing skills. So, classroom engagement plays a pivotal role to enhance student learning outcomes. Engaged students are more likely to participate actively, retain information, and develop critical thinking skills. Now, in today's time, when everything is available at the fingertips, developing the skills which are necessary for critical thinking and managing the situation has played a very, very pivotal role for the students to move ahead in their lives. The environment which the classroom needs to have where the students themselves feel valued. It starts from the primary ages. It's not limited to college level or senior secondary level. Even a child of 5 years understands a lot of things because of its exposure or his or her exposure to various other tools which are available on Android phones or iPhones or all other technologies surrounding them. As a result, it is mandatory for the educators who can foster a love for learning and significantly boost the academic performance. So, how the engagement is involved in the classroom collaboration. As we talk about 21st century learning skills, the engagement and collaboration, critical thinking is one of the aspects which we have talked earlier. Now, when you are a critical thinker, the most important factor in today's world comes to collaboration. When the industries are expressing their agony about a workforce which is academically very sound but unable to work as a team player, here comes the most important virtue of today's students' grooming, that is collaboration in the classroom. So now when you are engaging the students with various techniques, it gives them a platform to be engaged with each other, which also gives a platform where the enthusiasm is fostered and collaboration is also seen. When the learners actively participate in discussions and projects, they develop critical thinking. These all things go hand in hand. You cannot separate them. Critical thinking, collaboration, cooperation, all these things are not compartmentalized. It can happen through the strategically planned discussions around the subject matter as well as the projects which give them ample of opportunities for research, putting down their note making, various formats, choosing as learning style to present. There itself comes to critical thinking skills, and it also enhances their understanding. So here comes our today's topic, that is the techniques which are given by neuro linguistic programming or NLP for educators, which can create an environment that promotes dynamic interactions and inspires students to reach to their full potential. Now, what do we mean by dynamic interaction? If you might have seen in the talk, I have written about the bold letters. Now, the interactions can be various types in the classroom. Earlier classrooms had a scenario where the teacher was a person who was imposing questions or posing questions, and the students were expected to answer them. But when you give agencies to the students, that means you make them in charge for their own learning, then it is imperative to train them to have dynamic interaction wherein they listen as well. It's not only putting their point forward or imposing their point of view on the other crowd, but listening to their group members actively, noting down the positive points, as well as reassuring that without harming somebody's sentiments, they are trying to fi- have a refuting points which can create a fostering environment for the entire team to come up with a good project which will have everybody's involvement. That is where the full potential will be reached. So when we are trying to understand NLP, that is through classroom engagement, neuro linguistic programming is like ocean. We You might have seen a lot of videos on YouTube and podcast and a lot of other courses on Udemy and Coursera and so many other platforms which were dealing with mostly to the adults who are facing certain kind of turbulences in their life, professional, personal, or any other thing. And with respect to that, the evolvement of NLP or engagement of NLP might be seen. So when we want to go through educational atmosphere inside a classroom, specifically in the school scenario, we need to tailor certain aspects of neuro-linguistic programming for the educators. It's not that you have taken something and you have imposed it on educators. It is not going to help around that. So first of all, we need to understand why mind power matters. When we all are talking about brain fog, reduction of the attention span, as well as lot of other issues which are associated with mind thing, then it becomes imperative for educational system to understand the mind power, because the neuro-linguistic programming is a set of techniques that help the teachers to communicate better, understand student behavior, and create a positive learning environment. It improves teachers' awareness of student cues, builds better rapport, manages students' behavior in the inside the classroom, as well as various areas where classroom activities are involved, and use of language to guide the learning. NLP helps students to feel understood, motivated, and making classrooms more engaging and effective. Now here there will be a question that does it mean that the teachers are not able to understand the students? No, it's not like that. So what are the distinguishing myths and reality of NLP in education? There is a great myth that okay, you train your teachers with NLP and it will magically solve all the communication issues. It's not going to help it like that. The reality is NLP provide tools to improve communication and behavior gradually, the way we expect a child's physical and mental growth. In the same way, the day you learn a tool or the things from NLP would not render you any positive results, but its sustainability as well as effective implementation will improve NLP in a will improve the classroom scenario to a great extent. The another myth surrounding NLP is it fully comprehends human language and the way humans do. No, it's not like that. NLP offers practical methods to guide thought and behavior but doesn't replace the human empathy or understanding. It can come only and only through human understanding only. It can come only through the empathetic behavior of the humans. So NLP triangle is very simple and it is interconnected: thoughts, language, and behavior. These are the three main components of NLP, which illustrates how thoughts, language, and behavior are interconnected, emphasizing the importance of mindset in shaping classroom dynamics and student engagement. So there the teachers or the educators mindset making is very, very important. If a teacher enters with a negative vibe, if a teacher enters with a preconceived notion based on somebody else's experience about that classroom
Miss
and the
Shubhangi,
learner,
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you, ma'am. Are
yeah,
you switching between slides, ma'am? Because we are still in the first slide.
is it so? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I am switching. I'm on another slide. Just a minute.
You are in the seventh now.
Yeah, is it visible now?
Now it's visible, ma'am. Yeah,
Okay.
no problem. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
So sorry. Yeah. So we were talking about the triangle of NLP and language, thoughts, and behavior. These three things are interconnected. So there, the educators play a vital role. Pravina, is the next slide visible? I have shifted the slide. I have
No,
switched the
ma'am. The
again.
NLP triangle you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll do it like this way so that it becomes easy. Now is it changed?
Yes.
Okay, I'll switch on. I'll do that way only. So
Manually, please do it. Don't put it on autoplay mode.
yeah, okay. So the mind power is something which is very important for teachers to inspire students, and they have a threshold to hold significant influence over classroom dynamics and student engagement. By adopting a positive mindset and utilizing the NLP techniques, they can create an environment that fosters enthusiasm and participation. Understanding and implementing these principles not only enhances teaching effectiveness but also empowers students to reach their potential. So, here, working together will be more important than giving merely a instruction about any particular thing for the students. So, the educators need to be inspired for enhancing the classroom engagement. They can enhance by teaching techniques, connect with the students on a deeper level, and foster a culture of curiosity and collaboration. And the further part, we can understand about what are the core NLP techniques for classroom engagement. We will not go into varied kind of things. The three pivotal techniques are modeling successful teaching behaviors, anchoring positive classroom states, reading and responding to student cues. These are the main areas which the teachers need to understand through these practical applications. The modeling successful teaching behavior means the effective instructors, the instructions are such which can be in a varied way, understanding the need of the audience, that is the learners, creating a productive classroom environment, anchoring positive classroom status, anchoring techniques such as specific music or gestures at the start of the class to establish a positive atmosphere. A small technique, a very simple smile, or a clap for a small achievement student, eye contact, these are all discussed many a times, but yet the positive classroom state creation at the beginning is very, very important. Reading and responding to the student cues, in the sense the way the student is responding, their body language, the way they walk, the way they carry their responsibilities, and according to that the teacher's mentoring is very, very important in understanding to implement the core techniques of NLP. Now, the most important thing with NLP is building a rapport with the students for engaging them. A strong rapport building is very, very important, which will never happen over the night. Mirroring students' body language and tone, teachers can foster trust and connection. Believe me, unless you build a rapport with the students, it will really doesn't matter about how much knowledge do you possess, how many degrees you have. The way you build a trust with the smallest student of your class and make them, him or her, feel special, it will never replace the technology, or any tool will never replace this particular aspect of human behavior. That is where they understand values, they understand their learning environment, and they come eagerly each day to learn inside the classroom. So, when we are talking about rapport strategies and engaging with them, reorganizing body language and tone signals are there. So we must able to do the non-verbal communication and non-verbal cues in the students. What kind of tone signals are given by the students, that also is to be understood by the teacher. That can be done by observing students' posture, gestures, vocal tones. Educators can adapt their approaches to meet students' needs. This awareness is very important to foster an engaging environment, and it will always enable a teacher to respond effectively, build rapport, and ultimately improve the learning outcome. The NEP as well as NCF talks about it, and that is very, very important to foster the learning environment inside the classroom. Now, this is one of the major technique, that is goal setting and visualization for educators. So the teachers must learn themselves about goal setting and visualization, which can be taught inside the classroom along with their own subjects through small activities. It's very, very important for teachers and students towards success. Creating a clear mental image of desired outcome, educators can foster a positive mindset, avoiding negation or any statements which can kill their enthusiasm or makes them feel inferior about themselves will always result into a poor result classroom. So simple practices such as guided imaginary can lead to transformative experiences and increase focus inside the classroom. Various techniques can be employed in each subject which can enhance the learning through visualization. So the structuring engaging lessons with NLP techniques can involve lesson segmentation diagram. That means a bigger picture is segmented into small, small fractions, that is rings. It helps to maintain the student attention and engagement instead of hopping from one concept to another concept, or from one mere topic given in the textbook to the another topic. It is very, very important to have chunking done for the entire lesson. Anchoring exercises also very important. There are a lot of anchoring techniques which are involved, such as with a specific song or a phrase can set a positive emotional state for learning. These rituals foster familiarity, comfort, allowing students to transition smoothly into the learning environment and remain open to the ideas. Rapport building exercises, again building a rapport, we are coming back to the same thing. Mirroring of the body language, sharing personal anecdotes foster trust between educators and students. These are the connections which can create safe learning environments, engaging students to participate more freely and express their thoughts and emotions without hesitation. There can be some of the interactive activities which are group engaging techniques, collaborative exercises, as we talked in the in between. We should plan interactive activities to practice NLP techniques such as anchoring and rapport building by working in small groups other than your core academic things. Opportunities can be there with the educators to create such kind of spaces where they provide a lot of opportunities for the students to understand and come together, express their opinions and views, ability to implement these strategies. Small things give them, that is again coming back to the student agency, which can implement these strategies effectively, fostering a more engaging classroom environment. So these are some of the things which can be implemented by the educators. One of the major disruptor as well as collaborator is technology, so that educators can also take a chance to integrate technology, because you can't separate today's learners without a technology. So the technology can be significantly helpful to establish NLP techniques in the classroom, such as virtual whiteboards, interactive apps where students are also involved, not one-sided thing, specific apps which are designed for mindfulness exercises, focus building, like there are a lot of tools online available which help you to focus on your task, can help to facilitate anchoring techniques. Educators can also utilize platforms that promote collaborative learning, and like there are many tools which will help them to engage with each other, express their views and opinions about a particular issue. There are there are platforms where you can take their opinions or polls, like Mentimeter are there. Then there are a lot of tools which help them. Google has, even Microsoft has, a lot of tools are there which helps the learners to collaborate from the distance as well, to engage themselves with a productive activity as well as outcome for a project. So the practical steps to involve these NLP techniques are, various practical techniques are there. Incorporating small changes. This will never happen in one day. In teaching practices, establish consistent rituals. Consistency is very important. One day or fast changes will never be seen in NLP practices, but use of positive words, language framing, sentence framing, application, and your facial expressions, your tone at various levels. Apart from your teaching things, when you are putting these kind of conscious efforts, the active listening techniques also can help the learners to become more engaged audience inside the classroom, which can enhance their overall learning experience. So NLP can be implemented with these kind of techniques. There are some another techniques also which can be utilized for creating more engaging atmosphere inside the classroom. That is, quick audience interaction can be there, building a rapport, that, as well as there is one technique which is called as Swiss activity. What is Swiss activity? That you give students a small kind of exercise where they are talking about something and a mind picture is created about it, and the students are talking about it. Then we talked a lot about anchoring exercise. So let's understand what is this anchoring exercise only for 1 minute. It can be done. That is, the anchoring means what? A mental link between your physical gesture and what you are doing. Right now, if I'm sitting and delivering my talk to a audience, I have a particular posture. So there is a mental link between my thought process as well as my body language, which is done, that is physical gesture, which is positive, and resourceful, that is confidence. So whenever we are dealing with students, small changes, like most of the students slouch and walk. So when you teach this particular science behind it, the neuro linguistic programming helps them to understand that how our brain and our neural system helps us to become more positive and affirmative for our own understanding, and it also have a confident memory, that they can close their eyes. They have to think back a specific moment when they felt completely confident and successful in any area of their life. These small things can be more useful for any student who is going through a rough patch of his or her personal life as well as academic problems, or any kind of mental blockage about a specific subject. That can also be there. The simple prompt can be taken up, that picture where you are and what you saw, heard, and felt. Make the memory vivid and notice the details. The moment when the child got first prize and he was called on stage by the school principal and he was facilitated. So that might be a very positive thing for a child to remember always, and a memory where he was applauded in front of the entire audience can create a lot of impact on their positive mindset. They need the another test can be given to the students by, they have to be at that particular moment, that is mindful exercise, by thinking which is something which is very very neutral. Then guide them to use their anchor gesture and notice how quickly the feelings of confidence are returning. Notice how your mood is changing. Close your eyes and see how you are moving ahead. The things are easy, the things are positive, the energy is very good, and you are very, very positive and ready to accept any challenge for you. So, these are some of the, this is a very simple technique which is called as anchoring technique, which can be done by the teachers at any point of time when they are specifically doing any specific task which is they're continuously doing in the classroom, will help the students for getting the confidence always. There can be non-distracting gestures during these particular exercises. For example, the students have a tendency to fidget their fingers and forefingers and pressing their palms. A lot of things can be there to distract the things, but then they have to keep it as neutral as it. Apply your chosen gesture. They can put this kind of technique, mudra technique, or close their eyes where they are not forcing their eyelids. There can be very small changes, but very significantly you can teach the students these techniques. As a result, these are the practical steps the teachers can express. So there can be various ways as well as various resources online which are available for the educators to understand and speak about it. So the resources can be online, they can be offline. There are various books which are available. uh, Ravina, my time is up.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
If you can wind it up in 2 minutes, then we can take the questions.
Okay. So this is the last slide only, but I'll just speak about what are the various books as well as resources available for NLP for the educators. NLP for teachers: How to Be a Highly Effective Teacher. It's a book by Taylor and Bruce, a practical guide which is focused on applying NLP techniques in the classroom. Introducing NLP, a psychological skill for understanding and influencing people, by Joseph O'Connor and John Semer. Teaching with Brain in Mind is Eric Jensen, covers neuroscience and LNP inspired strategies for improving student engagement. There are a lot of online courses which are available on uh, Coursera as well as Udemy, like NLP for educators and trainers. Coursera has Learning How to Learn. This is one of the beautiful course which I have also done. There are a lot of videos and webinars which are available on YouTube, that is NLP techniques for teachers. There are multiple playlists which are available by various authors as well as various kind of resource persons with NLP activities of different age groups. It can also be taken up for secondary and senior secondary students. TEDx talks are available which are inspiring on mindset shift and communication strategies which are drawn from NLP. Uh, NLP is a science. It's not a one day tool. It's a science which has to be learned over the time and can be amended and tailored as per our choices of our audience. And please remember that NLP cannot make overnight shift, but it will always help an educator to be more effective, more heard, and more engaging educator in the school environment all the time. It can create the relationships more, which will be based on more stronger communication, feel more valued, and give a long time impact for the educators. Thank you. Thank you, Pravina, for joining me and having me for this talk.
Thank you, ma'am. If you can stop sharing your screen.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll just discuss about the challenges, ma'am.
Yeah.
What strategies would you suggest for teachers to overcome potential challenges when implementing NLP techniques in the classroom?
First of all, the teachers need to list down what all challenges are there and classifying them into various categories. And the challenges that the educators face while application of NLP is they want to take it the whole way what they have understood and do it at everything together, which will not be possible. You must seek first to understand than to be understood. This should be the principle of the teachers to implement NLP technique. So they must under chunk it out, and then accordingly they have to take the most suitable technique for it. As I said, it's not mathematical formula which can give you instant result. As per the understanding, when you apply small techniques, considering the audience from the background, the age group, as well as what kind of scenarios are there, it will be always helpful for them. Thank you.
Okay, another question similar to that, you have covered the point, but since I have received this question from on my WhatsApp from a speaker, What advice would you give to educators looking to integrate NLP with data-driven practices in their teaching, sorry.
Okay, very nice question. This is the age of data, and we all thrive on data. So, data-driven techniques can be are very very important to have data literacy. We
Mhm.
always talk about data and data handling, data analysis, but data literacy is more important. When you have data literacy, you can figure out varied strategy for those learners who are falling behind. There can be learners who might be facing certain anxiety issues, teenage related issues, or some another issues which are associated with their learning gaps. So the data literacy as well as awareness can create a link with that particular activity, and the NLP technique can help the educator to reach out to the student to help it in a significant manner, and to develop a good visualization technique, give him or her a way to feel positive about their own small achievement, and overcoming the fear of certain subjects or topics, and this way the challenges can be overcome. That's what I feel.
Mhm. Ma'am, are there any emerging trends or innovations in NLP that you believe will significantly impact education in the coming years?
uh, Emerging trends as of now, what we have to understand is about very very important is focusing, understanding the power of mind, and creating awareness about it, and creating the strong foundation of focus, concentration, mindfulness, meditation. These are all already there in the various. These are all some of the ancient practices which we all were doing as per our Indian knowledge system. At the same time, because our spiritual sciences are totally associated with NLP, I can say that these are not the trends, but these are long-term therapies or long-term practices which should be always tried and tested by the educators, and it should be consciously applied inside their classrooms, and they must find out the opportunities to take it up these small exercises, cues, and even the school leaders can plan a lot of workshops and promote these kind of things in the classroom, apart from their curricular as well as academic activities. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Last but not the least, can you share a particularly rewarding experience or success story related to NLP in education?
Yeah, since I am currently not associated with any of the school, but I'll share one of my previous school's experience with few children who were lacking a lot of confidence issues due to varied reasons. So there, when I learned about this particular thing, I started talking about it, and during our post our regular classes, we used to sit together, we used to discuss about it, and as I there were some students who were never having eye contact. So the small cue I took from each of their things, like some of them were not able to do eye contact, slouching, walking in a slouching manner, or fidgeting with pen all the time. So all those things gave a cue to me as a teacher that the child is in unrest. The child is facing unrest for certain things, and he or she wants to open up about certain things. Then I started discussing about their things, and we started having initial talks. They used to write a secret note. After that, we used to discuss, and we used to have mindfulness exercises, chunking of the topics, like chemistry being a very abstract and strongly rigid subject. I used to give them chunks. In what way the bigger picture can be broken into smaller things, making their own routine, visualization, in what way they can visualize their own understanding. A small things, these kind of small things helped me to help them to overcome the phobia surrounding my subject, and eventually they could come out of that phobia.
Thank you, ma'am. School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com, thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. And anything else you want to mention before I end the session, ma'am?
My strong urge is to for the order educators to look beyond the textbook towards every child, because every human is unique, and beyond marks, beyond grades, beyond their on paper performance, we must create healthy relationship with them, and encourage them to value their own lives and sustain and create beautiful world around them. Thank you, Pravina.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll end the session now.
Thank you.